Good day everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to episode number 5 of the Into the Future Rescuing Aston Villa rebuild. And as I say, this is episode number 5. This is the final season that we are on this challenge after simulating the database 10 years into the future to have a little look, see if any big names were relegated, and it turns out Villa were. So in the first season, they'd already got promoted back in, so we started in the Premier League as it was. And from there on, we've just been stabilising the club, picking up a bit of silverware here and there over the last 4 seasons. The first 3 seasons, really successful. We picked up trophies every year. Last season, we hit a bit of a blip, but I want to come back with a bang. Hopefully, we can win maybe another cup, maybe even the league this season. Because if we have a look at our league finishes over the last couple of seasons, if we go back, so we finished 11th there, then 9th there, then we finished in the Champions League spots in 5th, and then we finished 4th, but we're still about 10 points off the title race-ish. But as we go into this season, obviously, I've not played any games yet. We're on the 15th of August, 2037. Financially wise, the club is still looking very pretty, even though they had a big consortium takeover and have pumped a lot of money into the club. I've managed to spend a fair amount of that money, to be fair. I do have some transfer budget left over. Speaking of transfers, let's have a look and see what business we've done. So if I go back to the tickover point of last season, which is this one, I didn't bring anybody in before the tickover. There was only one player, I think, Benjamin Chibueze, who went out on loan. If I put this in date order, Chibueze, he's gone on loan to Luton. He wasn't getting the game time with us. And then after the takeover, we've been doing some business. £112 million on the outs. 30 million on Agustin Castro. Sadly, Castro didn't want to renew his contract. And the Saudis came calling Al Hilal 800 grand a week. How can he even compete with that? What an absolutely phenomenal striker he was for us. 5 seasons at the club. Did the business for us. Absolutely brilliant. Henrique Labuto has also gone to Saudi for 29 million. Danny Amodio, one of my previous signings, has gone to Napoli for 25 million. Zumetra has left the club. Again, one of my signings. He's gone for 13.25. Gianluca Villa, he's gone to Al Ghafra, which I think is Saudi as well, for 10.5 million, going up to 14. Anthony Capron has gone to Bayer Leverkusen, plus a load of loans. But I did spend 150 million on new players. Starting from the lowest amount, Nicola Angeloni is a backup right back, 20 years old, 5-star potential ability, not quite there yet, but will back the team up quite nicely. And again, at this point, it's all about just strengthening the squad, making sure I got cover in every single position possible, so we can actually challenge for the title this season, because I feel like we can do that. Emmanuel Igui from Bournemouth. He is a British player, 28 years old. Again, will help with the registration side of things. My scouts don't rate him, but look at it. He's got, to be fair, I don't understand why this guy is a 2-star. I really don't. He's got great aggression for the midfield. He's got good composure and flair, great first touch and passing. Very creative. I think the one thing that does, well, a couple of things, is his natural fitness let him down and his fickle personality. I can't see him getting any starts, but again, it's a squad option. And I brought him in from Bournemouth for 17 million. So it is what it is. Next player, Denis Kikoglu from Bayer Leverkusen, 25 million. Left back this time. May get the start, I don't know, but again, just a really solid backup. 16 tackling, 18 decisions, bravery and anticipation, 19 and 16 with great agility and pace, so he can cover things well. 24 years old, Denis Kikoglu. Next one from Burnley is Giorgio Valea, who, I mean, what more could be said about this? This guy is a complete forward, and he literally is a complete forward. He has 14s and 15s in the dribbling, finishing, and first touch, but 16 on heading, 17 on the technique, 16 on anticipation, 18 on composure, and 17 on determination. He's got a perfectionist personality, and he's got the physicals to back it up as well. Plus, likes the big games, is super consistent, and he's 27, so he's coming into his prime. This is like perfect striker to buy, and at 42 million, I think that's an absolute steal. But then the last one, Jean-Yves Lapacette, is a winger, left-footed, Again, 21 years old, I spent a lot of money on this guy, but he's got the potential ability to be an absolute world-class star. Not that we're probably going to see too much of him, but he probably will get some game time this season as well. And that wraps up the transfers. As I say, the transfers we've spent well. I think the squad is looking very, very strong now. I've got players in every position possible, covering every position possible. I still have, I think that's 25. Yeah, 25-man squad, so it's a full strength squad going into the full season. We obviously still have the likes of Superman in goal, Mikkel Bischoff. I still can't get over this goalkeeper. This goalkeeper is incredible. Utterly incredible. It baffles me. It really does baffle me how good this keeper is. Unreal. Then we have, obviously, the likes of Martin Agten, who I've managed to keep hold of for this entire save. And again, the German striker is just utterly incredible. Not banging in enough goals, though, for my liking, so I'm hoping he's going to hit the ground running this season. I really am. We've got Junior Givens, Hachi Bernat, Fran Bilbao. Even Ben Doak still managed to stay around. And he still picks up assists consistently. Really, really good player. Solid to have around the squad. So there we have it. That is the start of the season. I'm going to go and simulate this. Fingers crossed for season number 5 that we actually have some success. Deep breath. Let's go for it. Going into season number 5, I am targeting every single competition possible. But sadly, that really didn't work out with the Carabao Cup. We beat West Brom and Stoke 2-0 and 2-1. Only to lose 1-0 to Southampton, unfortunately. In what can only be described as a bit of a shocking result considering we had a full strength team out. We actually got beat at home 1-0 by Southampton. Thanks to a lovely layup from O'Connor, and he gets a deflected shot straight into the bottom corner. Very disappointing indeed. The FA Cup, on the other hand, was a different matter altogether. Early round wins against Rotherham 4-1 and this absolutely beautiful 4-0 smashing of Brighton Hove Albion led us on our way. We continued that trend with a lovely 5-2 win over Sunderland, and that led us to face Blackburn, who we utterly smashed 4-0 at Villa Park to teach them a lesson. This led to a semi-final showdown against Spurs, who we narrowly got past 0-0 on penalties. But that led to the FA Cup final, and unfortunately it wasn't our day as Liverpool managed to notch up a 2-0 win to beat us and take the FA Cup home. Despite that disappointment of the FA Cup, we did actually start the Premier League season in a rapid fashion, notching up just one draw in our opening 12 games, and the rest of them were wins, until we lost 1-0 to Luton. Despite that 1-0 loss to Luton, it was Giorgio Vallier and Martin Agten's season, as they continued to smash in goals left, right and centre. With a comfortable 5-0 win at home over Sunderland, thanks very much to Bilbao and Vallier. An absolute smashing of Liverpool 6-0 at Villa Park, again thanks in part to Fran Bilbao's volley there. And we are just going to sit back and admire Giorgio Vallier's hat-trick versus Forest. Over the course of the season, he has been absolutely outstanding and has been our star striker. And thanks very much to him and these results, we have gone on to win Aston Villa's first Premier League title since 1981. That is unbelievable. But that is not all. We have one more competition to go for, so let's go and find out how we did. In the Champions League, we managed to qualify 18th after scraping by with 3 wins over Bayern Munich, Lyon and Slavia Prague, a couple of draws against Leverkusen and Celtic, and losing 3 games against both the Madrid sides and Man City, but we still qualified for the knockout rounds. And who were we to face? Well, it was, of course, our Premier League rivals, Spurs. But thanks very much to Hachi Bernat, we managed to win our home leg 3-0, and as we drew the away leg 2-2, that means we qualified 5-2 on aggregate to go through to the next round. And of course, in the quarterfinals, it had to be Champions League royalty Real Madrid, who we drew with at Villa Park 0-0, and I did fear the worst. But in a performance for the ages, Villa players stepped up to the mark and absolutely destroyed Real Madrid at the Bernabeu as we rolled out 4-0 winners to progress into the semi-finals of the Champions League. This is unbelievable. After dispatching Real Madrid in the previous round, we ended up facing West Ham United in the quarterfinals, who we resoundingly whooped 3-0 at their ground to go into the second leg at Villa Park on a comfortable lead. But we almost threw it away, and the game ended up 4-3 at Villa Park, but even still, we managed to qualify for the semi-finals of the Champions League versus Inter Milan. And after a monumental 1-0 win at the San Siro, we managed to take Inter Milan back to Villa Park, where we ended up winning 3-2 on the night to make sure we qualified into the Champions League final to go and face another Premier League rival in Manchester United. And on a warm night in Benfica, we managed to take the lead early thanks to William Vera with a cracking 7th minute goal. And despite losing Martin Agten on the 10th minute to injury, we managed to pick up a beautifully worked second goal, thanks very much to our star striker George Vallier. And with that result, we went on to win the Champions League this season in our 5th and final season of the save. Well, how about that then, guys? That is what I call a 5th and final season wonder. Winning the Premier League and the Champions League, also the FA Cup final. What more can you ask for? That is Aston Villa well and truly back on their perch. And if I remember rightly as well, if I have a look at the club info, 2 Champions League. They actually won one in 1982, back when Villa and Forest and Liverpool were all absolutely amazing. And this time round, okay, admittedly, it's taken a long time to get the Champions League glory back to the club, but we've done it. We've absolutely done it. A League and Champions League double with almost a domestic trophy as well. Unfortunately, we just couldn't get past Liverpool, who beat us 2-0 in the final, sadly. But let's go and have a quick look at the league first and see what happens here. This is the first time this has happened in quite a while. Giorgio Vallier and Martin Agten, 23 and 22 league goals this season, are 1-2 on the Golden Boot charts. I haven't seen that in a long time from any of my teams. I am well chuffed with that. And also top in the average rating along with Fran Bilbao. Bischoff, second on the clean sheets. Callum McKenna picked him up by 1. That's annoying. Assists, Mollard and Bilbao, 18 and 16. These guys have been absolutely and utterly clutch for us. If we have a look at the player review as well, player review, anybody else getting close to us at all? Not that Francesco Camada plays for Spurs. But goals-wise, the expected assists, key passes, team goals, with, oh, and look at this, progressive passes. Vera, Redondo, Mate, absolutely outstanding. I've got no words for it. We've had an absolutely brilliant season in the league. But then we come to the Champions League, which was an amazing run. It really was. In fact, I'll show you on my schedule instead. I've got it here. Yeah, we picked up a couple of losses. The group stage, the league phase, was actually really difficult. And we didn't do the best. We only picked up 3 wins. 2 draws and 3 losses. Hang on, no, that's not right. Sorry. 3 wins, 3 losses and 2 draws. And so it was hit or miss. We may not even qualify. We were close. We were close to not actually qualifying. But then the run afterwards, it was a full Premier League run pretty much, but it wasn't easy. Spurs, that was a tough one. Real Madrid, I really did fear for us when we drew 0-0 at Villa Park. I thought, that's going to be it. That's going to be it. It's done. But somehow we managed to win 4-0 at the Bernabeu and then absolutely battered West Ham. I wouldn't say cruise past Inter Milan. They gave us a good game, especially at Villa Park, but it was crucial getting that 1-0 win at the San Siro. And then to face Man United in the Champions League final. I always like beating Man United. So, being a Liverpool fan, as it is, but a very successful season. If we have a look at the squad, and let's have a look. Oh, look at Bischoff there. I'll go and have a look at him in a minute. Played every game this season as well. Didn't even get injured. So, goals-wise, Vallier, what a signing he has been. In fact, he's improved even more. His finishing's got a little bit better. His physicals have got a little bit better. He's world-class, perfectionist personality, elite striker. First season in, 23 goals in the league, 34 in total. with 13 assists. Can't fault that at all. Then you got Ag10 partner him, who got injured with a twisted ankle, unfortunately. 29 goals and 10 assists. 22 from Burnett, who only made 32 starts. That's incredible. And have a look at his. He's got the trifecta. I mean, I've got 3 strikers here who just banging goals for fun. Absolutely banging them in for fun. So what a backup striker to have. But let's have a little look at Ag10. My word. He is incredible. He is utterly incredible. Oh, jeez. He is amazing. Let's have a look at it. Bilbao got 15 and 21 assists, 13 and 28 assists from Mollard. Mollard, again, another incredible player. It's just that vision and flair that he's got. Lapacette even managed to pick up a few goals. 11 goals from 5 starts. That's incredible. 11 goals from 5 starts. That is amazing. There's a lot of coming off the bench and he's getting involved. Pasariacek, 6 and 6. Again, what more could be said? This squad is absolutely outstanding. We're well stacked in every spot. I've made sure the squad is so strong now that even financially... Oh, what is going on here? We are in debt. That is not good. And we've got a bit of net debt there. They got a mortgage loan. I'm guessing that they didn't want to put any more money into the club. That's a bit of a shame. But there we have it, folks. That is it. The challenge is completed. I went into the future. I picked out Aston Villa because they got relegated and just promoted back into the Premier League. I used all the money bags that they gave me and, in the end, made them Premier League and Champions League champions. What more could be said than that? Challenge completed. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Don't forget to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with the content, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Ta-ra!